Good. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is March 6, 2023, and we'll call this meeting order at 7:35 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza? Here. Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy?
Here.
Trustee Neva Sparza? Here. Trustee Parada?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. So we'll start with our officer reports, starting with mine. First, I want to thank all the departments and the personnel that participated this past weekend in the Business Expo that the Alsip Chamber of Commerce sponsored over at the junior high, over at Prairie Junior High. We had a lot of crafters out there and so forth, and some of the unions came out to help recruit. The electricians were out there from IBEW 134. And certainly we had some tables represented with the fire department, police department, and public works. So thank you, everybody, for sending your personnel out to represent at the junior high last weekend. First thing on your agenda this evening, under my report, was an approval of an ordinance amending the compensation and rate of pay for certain personnel and appointed officers of the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois. Basically what it is what the public doesn't see, but we haven't adjusted compensation for some of the folks that represent us, civilians that represent us in the Police and Fire Commission. There's 3 people there. The Plan Commission, and there's 7 people on that commission. We have summer help. We're going to increase that pay to about $15 an hour. We take on 15, 20 people a year. Like, you got to be 18 years and up for a summer job. And then certainly there's the boat launch attendant. That's about the loneliest job in the world, but I appreciate that gentleman sitting on the Calsac River all for 4 hours a day and stuff, and every weekend. So I appreciate his time. Sherman, I can't think of his last name right now, but he does a wonderful job with that. And then even our crossing guards, we increased the compensation for them a little bit too, to $50 a day. Again, none of these positions have been changed financially since 2012, so a dozen years later, not quite, 2011 I believe it was, but here like 12 years later we're adjusting those costs, and I appreciate the board's support to do that. We want to keep those people engaged and looking out for our best interests, especially in the commissions and so forth. They oversee the hiring of the police and fire, as well as qualifying new businesses that want to come to town with the Plan Commission. So that's all I had on my report this evening. So we'll go to the clerk's report. Clerk Harding.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the approval of the February 20th, 2023 board meeting minutes, the approval of the February 27th, 2023 committee meeting minutes, and finally we have the presentation of the 2023-2024 vehicle sticker. You can see it on the screen over there. What I had done this year is did a contest with the schools. I reached out to the principals at districts 125, 126, and 30 to see who wanted to participate. All of 126 participated, and one school in 125 participated. I went through all of them, narrowed it down to about 11. I sent those 11 out to all the employees at the village for them to vote, so it was not my decision that I made, it was the votes of all the employees of the village. So our winner is the one that you see on the screen there, Cassidy King. She's a 7th grader at Prairie Junior High. She was the winner. I'm just going to briefly read. Our theme was kindness changes everything, and she wrote a little description about what her picture is about. So her description is, my design shows 4 objects: a world, a magnifying glass, heart, and 2 arrows. These 4 objects represent the world changing by kindness and realization. The world represents everything worldwide. The heart represents love and kindness. The arrow represents changing. Lastly, the magnifying glass represents visualization. So I wanted to bring her in here today She is getting a $25 Visa gift card. They will also be getting one free vehicle sticker for their household. And I do have a little certificate up here if you want to come forward.
Cassie, it's very inspiring. Good, well said. You wrote that well. Here, let me get out of your picture. Absolutely. Sure.
Why don't you have her take her jacket off?
Yeah.
Renee, have her take her jacket off.
And then afterwards, if you guys want a picture up there with her, I'll gladly take a picture for you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to be in the picture?
There you go, Jeff. Maybe I'll just
You guys want to come up? I'll take a picture.
You want them to go all the way to the back of the room?
Yeah, everyone go up.
Do you guys all want to come in? I'll take a picture.
It looks good in the newspaper.
Cassie, can I get a picture with the two one more time?
Very well done.
All right, good job.
I was just telling Cassie and her family before we got started that quite possibly, we'll see how it goes. We'll have to talk with the board about this at a future date, but that might be the last vehicle sticker that we do, because I had the finance director in my office today, and all the villages now are looking for ways to simplify these processes of getting these things done. So that conversation is going to happen another day. But we just saw the Village of Oak Lawn eliminate theirs. I'm sorry, Tinley Park eliminated theirs. Oak Lawn did theirs a couple of years ago, yeah, too. But thank you for designing it, Cassie. Nice job. And again, folks, thanks for coming in today, too. Appreciate it. We work for you, but certainly you help us look good, too, when you come up with designs like that, because there's a lot of things that we kick around to try and share with folks that we might have here and so forth. But I tell you, I think we all agree, every time you turn on the TV, there's so much disparity in our world and so forth that you got to be inspired. And really, I don't want to over-patronize, but Cassie, what you wrote was really well said. So we appreciate that. At this time in our lives, we all need a little something to look up to and stuff here, too. So thanks for doing that. Well done.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks again for doing it. And folks, don't feel compelled to stay for the rest of the meeting unless you really want to learn about government tonight and stuff yet, too. You're not going to hurt our feelings and stuff yet, too, So, but thanks for coming out tonight, too, folks. You also.
Thank
Thanks
you.
much.
Thank you.
Okay.
And that was all I had, Mayor.
Okay, thanks much. All right, then we'll go to our attorney's report. We have Gary Perlman with us tonight. Gary?
Hey, good evening. Thanks for having me. I have nothing specific to talk about, but we will have something possibly under closed session.
Yes. All right, thank you. Then we'll go to our engineer report. Jeff Agan?
Thank you, Mayor. First up, we have approval of a resolution of the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing the execution of an application for the Invest in Cook grant program. This will request funding, the application that we'll be submitting for a village-wide pedestrian planning study. This study could be used as a tool then to help in obtaining funds from other grant opportunities down the road. So it's kind of a roadmap of where the village wants to go, and it's looked upon favorably when you're submitting for different grants and funding opportunities.
Jeff, did we have to be exact with this just yet? I know we were talking about 115th and 119th, but did we have to be explicit with that?
Right now, so what this is a planning tool. Essentially, it's going to identify, for instance, locations of missing segments and kind of ways to modernize, missing like sidewalk segments, pedestrian segments and whatnot, try to provide the continuity and you kind of modernize the pedestrian network, getting kids to school, getting to the businesses and things of that sort. So,
Because I have met with members of CMAP before and so forth, too, and while many of the areas that we look are multi-jurisdictional all the time,
Sure.
At the same time, we can provide insight through a study like that to help them with some guidance. That's what we need is a professional opinion on what needs to take place.
correct.
Okay.
Second, we have approval of a resolution authorizing the execution of an application for the Cook County, Illinois 2023 Community Development Block Grant, or the CDBG grant, for the program year, which requests $400,000 in funding for the roadway resurfacing of Karlov Avenue and Kamensky Avenue, both those roadways between 115th Street and 120th Street. And then third, we have approval of a resolution for improvements under the Highway Code for Phase 1 and Phase 2, design engineering associated with the Alsip Safe Routes to School project in the amount of $97,000. The village has received Safe Routes to School funding for construction of sidewalks to serve the Hazel Green Elementary School. So those sidewalks would be along LeClaire Avenue and 117th Street, and also sidewalks to serve the Prairie Junior High School. That sidewalk would be along Costner Avenue and 119th Place. So this is Phase 1, Phase 2 engineering with the anticipated bid opening would target IDOT's April 2024 letting.
And Jeff, going back to number 2, again, we identified Karlov and Kamensky because we just did water main replacements on those too, right? I mean, this is basically to finish those streets.
Right.
Because the MFT money wasn't enough to do that last season, so we're chasing it with this then too.
Correct.
Right, okay. I just want to let the trustees know that's why we identified those blocks. Okay.
And I had a question also on item 2. With CDBG funding, I think it was answered in regards to village-owned residential streets. We can use Cook County funding for that, or how is this grant?
Yes.
Okay. Because then Hamlin Avenue, I think, was started, but it wasn't completed. So I'm not sure if, future, when will that be?
Well, I think what we're going to do, we're actually going to, because there's 2 streets over there that need to be finished, and the one we're kind of prioritizing, though, too, is last year we did the southeast corner. We did Millard and like 122nd, 121st, and all those areas over there. What we didn't have enough money for was Lawndale Street, which is even worse condition and stuff yet, too. And so the money that we had left over from the Illinois, Rebuild Illinois money, we got $233,000 left on that.
Correct.
We were going to apply to that street. So we're trying to stretch these monies a little bit and stuff yet, too.
So to clarify then, Hamlin is going to be finished under that funding, or?
No, it's going to have to come under something else, but we're asking for everything we can get right now and stuff. And
Okay. And then this is a yearly, or how do they announce the CDBG?
They'll announce it I believe it's towards the end of the year, so this will be like for our next year project.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Jeff, did you get back the application today that I got to still send you a couple things, but I know the finance director, you know what? I answered my own question. The finance director sent me that GATA application. I will have that to you. Maybe before I leave tonight, I'll send it back to you.
Yep, I sent over some markups this morning earlier as well
Okay.
for that same.
All right. That it? Jeff, anything else?
Yep, that's all I
Okay,
got.
thank you. Public forum, anyone in the audience, folks, do you want to address the board?
I'm just here if there were any questions about the community solar.
Oh, no problem. Well, that's, will be coming up, thank you. Then we'll go to standing committee reports of Finance and IT Committee.
The approval list of payroll dated February 24th, 2023, totaling $409,862.48. And then the approval list of accounts payable dated March 6th, 2023, from the recap, general fund, $329,037.17. Road and Bridge in the amount of $56,001.48. MFT, $44,116.55. Pulaski TIF, $1,672 even. Liability and workman's comp insurance, $37,794.49. IMRF payroll taxes, $7,652.57. Water and sewer, $16,550.10. Sanitary sewer, $1,519.97. Heritage 1 and 2, $92,368.62. And retiree health insurance, $45,893.46. Total of all funds, $632,606.41. That's all I have, Mayor.
Sorry, Chris, your report, you might want to just announce that something we're promoting on social media.
Okay.
I could have talked slower.
Sorry. I want to give Trustee Murphy something for the fire department. Thank you, Trustee. Next was the Fire Committee report. Trustee Murphy.
Under Fire Committee, this just in. This is a community alert that there are reports that there is an organization going around collecting for local fire departments. They're based out of Florida. The Alsip Fire Department and most departments in the Chicagoland area do not use a vendor to collect for the fire departments. If you see these decals, logos, beware of them. We also do not go door to door and collect money or ask for donations. And this is a public service message. And where can this be? This will be found on social media, Mayor?
We're already promoting that on social media. I just wanted to make it a record here so the trustees knew we were doing that too, in case you're not on social media. And we have it on our website too. This was brought to the attention of Chief Miller. Do you folks see this too? I know the fire department brought that in. Are you getting the same complaints?
We have not gotten any complaints thus far. We put it out on our social media as well, so.
Okay. Very good. So I just want to make the board aware of what we're doing with that.
And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have the Police and Traffic Safety Report. Trustee Del Sal.
We have the request for approval to purchase new lockers from Salisbury Industries not to exceed $19,999. Lockers will replace the old lockers, which are deteriorating. Salisbury Industries is one of the lowest of 3 quotes and has the product available to ship. Project has been budgeted for as part of the renovations to the police department locker rooms. Secondly is, it's not on the thing, but I guess I got missed, but it was just an overview. Chief gave us last week. It was the Alsip Police Department announces partnership with the Cook County Treatment Response Team, TRT, and Chief gave us the last week. And then I have the approval of the Police Department's 2022 year-end report. And Chief, anything you want to discuss about any of the above?
No, I do have an exact number though for the lockers. It was 19,890.
We talked last week too, trustees, that Chief and Roger Early are doing a great job of staying within our budget, and the locker room is really shaping up nicely. It's the first time that locker room's been remodeled in, Chief, how long?
Officer Giselle. That was the
70s?
spring.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's been well overdue, and we certainly want to give our officers something to be proud of. And, Chief, you're doing a great job. Looks really good. And once it's finished, we'll give everybody a tour down there, show what it looks like.
Yep. And I apologize, I read the wrong number. It was right in the agenda. That's all I have, sir.
All right, thanks again. Next, Public Work and Boat Launch, Trustee Juarez Mendoza.
No report, Mayor.
All right, and just so everybody knows, again, April 1st is the opening day at the boat launch, and we've already been contacted by one organization. They're going to have a bass tournament out there, I think, right in April, so.
There's bass in the CalSag.
No, I'm sure you got to travel like everything else to find it and stuff yet, too.
Man.
April, you do know April 1st is smelt season, right? It's the smelt are out there?
Yeah, I caught 2 fish and 1 smelt.
Tradition is you're supposed to bite the head off the first smelt you get.
Oh, I just got it.
Did you miss that?
Yeah.
All right.
So, next, we have the Sewer and Water Report, Trustee Navas Barza.
Okay, Chris. I'm going to laugh about that the whole night now. I have no items to be voted on this evening.
And trustees, we had a meeting earlier today, and I saw our Water Commissioner, Dan Tribman. I shared it with everybody earlier. I thought it was great. Danny had some nice comments. The Southtown Tribune did a story this morning in a paper about water towers, and Dan gave a very nice explanation on the history of the water tower, why we use the colors that we do, and the purpose of those water towers yet, too. So it was really a nice piece, and I thank Dan for his comments on that. Next, we have the Building and Health Report, Trustee Peretta.
Thank you, Mayor. First on the agenda, I have a request of an approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip granting a variation for the installation and use of a fence in the front yard setback on property commonly known as 4131 West 124th Place, Alsip, Illinois. Second, I have a request for approval of the Building Department February 2023 activity report. In that report, there were 50 permits issued. The amount collected, including inspector fees, was $11,481, and the estimated cost of construction was valued at $509,008. Third, I have a request for approval of the Health Department February 2023 activity report. And in that report, there were 15 complaints, 2 inspections, and 7 citations. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next is the Human Resource and Insurance Report, Trustee Murphy.
Mayor, I have the approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 15.5 Personnel, Article 2, Employee Requirements and Benefits, Section 15.5 through 38, Vacations of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. Mayor, I'd like to pull that from the agenda at this time to discuss during the review of the consent agenda.
All right, so it's letter L. All right. All right, very good.
That's all I have, sir.
All right, thank you. We'll go to our special committee reports. Start with Economic Development, Trustee Nava Esparza.
Thank you. Village Attorney Joe Kankar has completed a review of the materials delivered to him by Barton Real Estate Holdings. He has approved the certification of not less than $250,000 in eligible costs under the RDA redevelopment agreement for the property at 11650 South Pulaski Road in Alsip. The total rebate incentive limit will be $250,000. And one question that I asked the attorney before the meeting was, since the business hasn't opened its doors for business, this is not us giving the monies at this point, correct?
No, and actually, this isn't even rewarded until after completion, and actually, it's done through taxes. It's not like a cash thing or anything like that.
And then when are they set to open?
You know, he told me like a month ago, he was hoping for April. We see construction going on every other day. If everybody noticed, they put up all the lighting out there last week, and now they got they're building out for counters and walls and all that kind of stuff's going up right now. So he's got a loan on that thing, so I would assume he's moving on it and stuff then too. I also spoke with Taco Burrito King over the weekend, and they're waiting for the weather to break so they can start doing more with walls and stuff like that yet too. And we had a good meeting today. I'll let the committee know as soon as more is done or said, but we had a roundtable today with a significant investment in our industrial community. So I'll bring that up when the time is right for that. I can't use their name yet. Anything else, Trustee?
No, that's all I had.
Then we'll go to Village Properties. Trustee McLaurin? Oh, I'm sorry, it's not here. Committee. Village Properties?
We have an approval of the Heritage February 2023 activity report. That's on there.
All right, thank you. Ordinance legislation, Trustee Peretta.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a request of approval of an agreement between Solstice Power Technologies and the Village of Alsip, where Solstice agrees to assist the village to drive community adoption of solar photovoltaic projects and/or community solar subscriptions based on availability. So I do have a few questions for Solstice.
Danny, can you come up, please, to the microphone? Thank you.
Just to clarify a few things for the public.
And thank you for getting photovoltaic correctly then, too. huh?
Oh, hey, I have to.
All right.
That's my trade.
All right.
Hi, Diane. Thanks for coming in, by the way. I believe you were last year on February 13th, and you had a presentation. Your presentation was good, and it pretty much was on the surface level, so you certainly gave me a lot of homework to do, so I wanted to dig a little bit deeper. First of all, I got a wealth of information from the CUB, and I'm happy to say that CUB had nothing bad to say about Solstice. All right.
That's the Citizens Utility Board, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, and they are familiar with Solstice, so the girl I talked to says they've been working with Solstice. So, but they do have a wealth of information here. So the first question I have, this comparison chart from CUB, your company and US Solar are listed here as, and this is on February of 2023. What does inactive community solar offers? Your company is listed as inactive. What does that mean?
Can I see what you're talking about?
It really doesn't give an explanation, but I was just wondering why they have you guys listed as inactive, so I just wanted to get that clarified.
Well, this particular project that they're talking about now, these are the mass market projects.
Okay.
So these are the ones that are for the mass market, not the Illinois Solar for All project that we're talking to Alsip about now. This is the 20% project. This is mass market. Those are closed right now. There's no open space in the farms.
Is that Diane, part of the Illinois Shines?
That's the Illinois Shines, right?
Okay, very
and
good.
the program we're talking about for Alsip is Illinois Solar for All, which is for the low to moderate income residents.
Correct.
Which is 50% savings.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay. Also, so Diane, refresh my memory. Solstice is the only company currently right now that is offering the Illinois Solar for All program?
Solstice is not the only company that's going to be able to offer it, but they are the only company right now that has an active farm being developed. So they're the first one that has worked with Illinois Solar for All that is actually developing. They're subscribing right now.
I got you. Now, Solstice does not own the farm, correct? You're
No,
basically like
they're
a broker?
vendor. They're a vendor.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So what is the total number of subscribers that a solar farm could actually hold?
Yeah, it's not even a total number of subscribers. It has to do with the number of megawatts or kilowatt hours that can go onto the farm. So it's how many megawatts or kilowatt hours that can be produced on behalf of the subscribers. So the particular farms that are being developed now, there's one farm, I think it's going to be 4 megawatts total, which is 2 different farms at 2 megawatts is what I'm being told.
Okay.
And that's somewhere about 4 million kilowatt hours, basically. So those are the ones being developed right now for this year. When those fill up, they're going to be developing new ones, but these are the ones that are subscribing right now.
I got you. I got you. So basically, I want the public to know too. So there's also, I was reading some reviews, okay, and some of the complaints were, hey, I signed up for this, and it's been 3 months. I haven't received any credits yet. Why? So it's because
It has to do
the
with
term called
subscribing,
live.
Right. It's being developed, but they subscribe before it's fully developed. Once it's developed, it's what they call it's turning it on.
Exactly.
And then they start to see the savings. So in this particular project, they're thinking it's going to be somewhere around the fall of this year, but they're subscribing for it now because that's how they have to do it for the developer to fill the farm.
Right, that was my next question. When can people expect to have that solar farm be live? So to
We're being
avoid the
told
complaints.
fall
Okay,
of this
very
year.
good. So the next thing I have is your billing illustration.
Yeah, so hold on with that one. Did we give that announcement yet to Mr. Peretta? It is now a combined billing. It was just approved last week.
That just came through, right?
Just came through. that there's no longer dual billing. It'll be on combined billing, one bill, everything will be on the ComEd bill. So
Okay.
there will be no confusion there at all.
Okay, that's good, and simplify things. But
yeah.
obviously, this is marketed as your best-case scenario.
That's the old one. It literally, the marketing is in the process of redeveloping that.
Okay.
We're going to send it out to all our communities that are already subscribing, but it's going to be one bill.
Very good. So one of my concerns is for seniors when it comes to contracts. You know, seniors can be most vulnerable, and most people probably neglect to read the fine print. So, you know, in your fine print here, it says the impact of solar bill credits on your utility charges can vary month to month. So from what I understand is you cannot expect the same $50 credit every single month.
Well, it's not $50. It'll be 50%. It'll be 50% of their electricity
Right.
supply. So that's why it varies, because their electricity supply will not always be the same.
Okay, the supply will not always be the same.
Correct.
Okay.
Because it depends how much they use that month. Someone might use more in the summer, less in the winter, so that's how that will vary.
Okay, very good. So I guess lastly, I want to talk about the contract just a little bit. In your packet here, so what struck me is it says your program is from now until April of 2023 or when spots fill up. So,
That just happened to be when we began to talk to Alsip, because they usually look about a 60-day window to begin subscribing. So that's because it takes time to get the marketing in order and all that. But that's what they're referring to, is the matter of time to talk to Alsip about what kind of campaign you want, and then begin subscribing 60 days later. So that's just the general rule of thumb. You're seeing that was when we first started to talk to Alsip about the program.
okay. Can you safely say that there would be enough availability of subscriptions for everyone that we have here in
As I'm
town?
speaking to you right now, we have enough.
Okay.
And I'm, just full disclosure, we have a lot of communities that are coming on board, as you know. We've already talked about some of them that have already begun subscribing. And there's always new ones coming on. This is a really excellent project, Illinois Solar for All. I've been in the industry a long time. Community solar's been around for a few years. I've never seen 50% savings in anything that I've ever been a part of. So we're getting great response, but as I stand here now, there's availability.
Okay, because I was just concerned about what if subscriptions run out and there's still people that want to sign up? What happens then?
It would go on a wait list.
They're on a waiting
So the
list.
next farm would be developed. So at this point, we don't see a wait list happening. I mean, you're because of the work of your mayor, and you're enough ahead of the curve, I don't see it being a problem, But we have to say that because let's say Alsip approves this today, and there begin subscriptions in April or May, and then somebody from Alsip wants to do it in April of '24, and there's no spot left, they should say, well, you should have told us there might not be. So we have to disclose. It's always possible that there might not be.
Very good, very good. So Diane, I guess the last question I would have is, since the Village of Alsip neglected to receive a stipend, why is it necessary for us to sign a contract when we're not receiving anything?
It's not a contract, it's a memorandum of understanding. It's just clarifying
Okay.
what you would expect the vendor to do and what we ask you to do. So that's what that's for. And any changes that would, the attorney would want to make to that, we can bring back to Solstice and talk about. I know that stipend back to Alsip was something you weren't interested in. So any changes that, need to be made from the attorney, we can bring that back to.
Which we pretty much did. I sent this to Attorney Joe Kankar, and for review, and it was a typo that we saw Trustee Dalzell point out from the last meeting that we had. Diana, we actually, last week at a committee meeting, I used my own electric bill for an example, like what kind of money you'd save, and I think it was within $1, but let's say my last 2 months at my house, there's only a couple of us living there, and I think the supply was like $34 a month. So you're saving 50% of that. So it's like $17, $18 a month. But again, times 12 months, that was like a $210 savings on your electric that year and stuff.
Absolutely.
I was shocked when the clerk showed me hers. I accused her of making her kids shower in the dark, or so hers was, it wasn't even
only
close to what
$9.
mine was and stuff, you
That
know.
one
so-
house with the lights are never on.
Exactly, you know, but hers is wonderful. I wouldn't complain about that one at all, you know, but, no, it sounds like a great program, and obviously, just from the typo that we got through our attorney, this is a popular concept, and I appreciate Trustee Peretta
Yeah,
doing his homework, too. Dave and I talked earlier this week, and if you made your calls, you know, like anything else, you know, you want to be comfortable with what we're doing here as far as an agreement goes.
Absolutely.
Does the village have to engage itself with this in order for those qualified residents to sign up with your company?
The answer is no. A resident can do it on their own if they want to go through Illinois Solar for All. They would be put on a wait list there. The reason that the vendor engages villages in this is because what we found is a couple of things. There's a lot of money that gets spent on the marketing of this, so letters going out to residents to inform them, different types of things that are done. It costs a lot of money. And we found that if we don't have the municipality behind us, then the residents don't trust the program. You know, I heard you talking about what was going on with the fire department. You know, it's so scary what's out there, and there's stuff out there with this now. People are knocking on doors. If your residents know that the village is endorsing a certain program and that they're never going to get a knock on their door and none of those things are going to happen, it also protects your residents. But that's the reason behind it. The vendor wants the support so that the residents have the confidence, and the money that the vendor spends to market the program, they need the support of the municipality.
I guess my concern is, and if the people that are in need can sit there and save money, then by all means. But we've already agreed that we're not going to take the monetary aspect of this.
Right.
If there's a complaint about it, because we're sitting there and we're giving you our blessings, it seems like the people are going to be calling here to complain about it as well, and most of our people, I believe, are going to shrug their shoulders because they're not going to know what to say.
I'm glad you brought that
I
point
agree.
up.
I
One
agree
of the
as well.
services that I provide as the broker is they can call me directly. I give my cell phone to the communities that I work with so that I can literally answer questions from residents. And that's what we do. And Solstice will do that too. But I'm telling you, as I'm standing here, that I've been in situations and a resident has a question, they give the resident my cell phone number, and I talk to the resident, I answer their questions, and that's how that's solved. We don't expect you to have to deal with manpower to answer these questions. Literally give them my phone number or my email or both, and we'll take care of it.
And then what happens if company XYZ comes in doing a similar such function that you guys do?
Alsip can always bring them aboard as well. There's no exclusivity to this in any way.
My concern is that we don't advocate for Edison or Nicor or for AT&T or cellular vendors or anything else like that. I don't know why we would involve ourselves with this.
Well, you have a right to your opinion. I'm explaining to you the reason that we look for the support of the municipality. It gives confidence to the residents, and there's a lot of money that's spent behind the marketing of the program, and they won't spend the money without the support of the municipality.
Right. But this is for a select portion of our population, right?
It's for those that would qualify in
Right.
the low to moderate income space. That's correct.
And I have to agree with some of the points Trustee Peretta said and mentioned, and I appreciate the questions. And also Trustee Dalzell brought valid points. And I also share the concern with the liability. And I'm trying to wrap my head around this because it's like when we encourage, let's say, for example, different example, businesses should have a separate business checking account to not commingle funds, but we're not partnering, and my mic is going out, we're not partnering with, let's say, a bank to, encourage them to sign up clients for a business checking account. So kind of what Trustee Dalzell mentioned, we're not partnering with cell carriers and so forth like that, then why would this be something different? But that would just be my comment.
Again, and again, everyone has a right to their opinion, of course, but this is different than asking them to sign up for a checking account. This is a program that's going to help the residents that would qualify. It saves them 50%. So it's really the municipality sort of as a cheerleader behind a program that can help people. They enroll in if they want to. It's not an aggregation where they have to opt out. If they want to enroll, they do. You're not forcing them to subscribe. You're showing them this program is available. So to me, it's just the village standing behind a program that can help a lot of people that they may not find out otherwise.
Yeah, and just like a business checking account, and, when you're applying for grants and so forth, having your financials in order is also important. So I was just using that as a different example to provide context.
I hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Diana, how many villages are participating in this?
Right now,
around our area?
Yeah, the active subscriptions right now are Thornton, Park Forest, Round Lake Beach, and Braidwood. They're currently subscribing. They launched a few weeks ago.
Diana, are you the only, is Solstice the only company that ComEd is willing to include in their billing then, too?
I don't think they would be the only one. I'm not sure what level the approval came down from.
Okay.
If Solstice applied and they approved it through Solstice. They did not tell me that, but I don't know. I don't want to give a wrong answer.
That's okay. I've never seen a contractor be part of the ComEd bill.
Yeah, well, like if you remember when aggregations first started, right, back in the day, and I was part of those, they were always separate billing then, and then it turned into common billing. So any supplier that was that would be a part of an aggregation was able to be on the ComEd bill. So it'll be the same thing here.
Okay.
So Solstice is a vendor for the Illinois Solar for All program.
All right. Trustees, any other questions for Diana?
No, nothing further. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks much, Diana, for being out here tonight.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. And we'll finish up here with our reports. Next, we had planning and zoning and licenses. Trustee Juarez Mendoza.
I have an approval of a list of licenses dated February 13th, 2023 through February 24th, 2023. That's all, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Then, did anyone have any presentations, petitions, or communications they wanted to share?
I had one, Mayor. I just wanted to share an experience that I had at the gas and wash yesterday. I was out there, and they have these self-serve vacuums, this whole row of them, and I was out there and unloading my mats and stuff out onto the ground, and one of their employees came out. Her name was Sarah, and said, "Would you mind if I took all your mats into the facility and cleaned them for you?" I didn't know what to say. And if she didn't have her uniform on, I'd be like, "Get away from me." No, but yeah, just what great customer service. Came out, did a beautiful job on the mats, brought them back to me, and aside from being a little bit wet, just again, a great Alsip business with a great business model, great customer service, and if Gas and Wash higher-ups are listening, there's a keeper, because she did a great job, and obviously she didn't have to do that, and came out and took care of me. So kudos to
Did you tip
them.
her?
Of course I did.
Secretary at the 30.
I tell you, I was just telling Chief Miller, I was over there about a month or so ago, and it's a great new business. They're not quite open a year yet, and they actually have a dog wash there.
Yeah.
And we've got this 100-pound German Shepherd, and it's kind of nice. It's all, you can lock the door, it's all glass, so you can see what's going on inside, but nice little ramp to get him up there. And the Shepherd, he sheds something terrible. And I tell you, you need a big tub like that. You can't do that at home. You'd be clogging pipes left and right and stuff, too, you know. But no, it's they're great. Thank you for sharing. It's a great addition to the community. Also, the next school district over sent me an advertisement asking if I would share with everyone here. Stagg High School at 111th and Roberts Road. They're Music Boosters are having an art for the season. This is a arts and crafts festival on March 18th and 19th. On the 18th, it's basically 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. 19th, it's 10 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. They're going to have arts and craft booths, vendor booths, lunch and food samplings, raffles, and entertainment there as well, too. And it's a $3 admission for the show that they're going to have there. So at this time, I'd like to ask, did anyone wish to, aside from what Trustee Murphy said, letter L, did anyone want to remove anything else from the consent agenda?
Letter N. N is in Nancy,
N is in Nancy? Okay.
or Nava.
All right, anyone else? All right, then can I get a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call number 1 to establish consent agenda, Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza.
Yes.
Trustee Parada.
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
Thank you. Can I get a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All right, before I do the roll call, we have item number A, approval of an ordinance amending the compensation and rate of pay for certain personnel and appointed officers of the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois. Will now be known as Ordinance 2023-03-1. Item E, approval of a resolution of the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing the execution of an application for the Invest in Cook Grant Program. Will now be known as Resolution 2023-03-R-1. Item F, as in Frank, approval of a resolution authorizing the execution of an application for the Cook County of Illinois 2023 Community Development Block Grant Program Year, which requests $400,000 in funding for the roadway resurfacing of Karlov Avenue and Kamensky Avenue between 115th Street and 120th Street. Will now be known as Resolution 2023-03-R-2. Item G, approval of a resolution for the improvement under the Highway Code for Phase 1 and Phase 2 design engineering associated with the Alsip Safe Routes to School project in the amount of $97,000. Will now be known as Resolution 2023-03-R-3. And item K, approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip granting a variation for the installation and use of a fence in the front yard setback on the property commonly known as 4131 West 124th Place, Alsip, Illinois, will now be known as Ordinance 2023-03-2. Roll call number 2 to approve consent agenda, Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza.
Yes.
Trustee Parada.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
Thank you. Let's go back to 2 items that were removed. First one was letter L, the approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 15.5 Personnel, Article 2, Employee Requirements and Benefits, Section 15.5-38, Vacations of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. Before we take questions on this, I have a motion and a second the way the request stands. No? Then I'll go to, then we'll have questions. Trustee Murphy, you had pulled this. Did you have a question?
No, Mayor, no question. I just wanted to, for the record, make the changes that were discussed, changing in the first line, changing permanent to full-time.
No.
No, just take out.
You know what?
We're striking that.
They were striking that.
I'm sorry, we're striking that.
We're going to just strike the word permanent. We'll leave all employees, okay?
Okay. And then the, under A, instead of 5/6 a day, 6.6 hours, change that to 8 hours.
So the way you wish this to read would be first-year non-union employees, 8 hours paid vacation for each full month worked following the month hired through the next April 30th, correct?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Capped at 10.
Well, and that stays in there too. Vacation time may be used as it's accrued, but not to exceed 10 days off.
That's right.
Okay. So, any other questions, trustees? Did I have a motion and a second to approve this particular ordinance as that we just amended on its face, as trustee Murphy noted?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call number 3. I'm going to wait for the vote, and then I will say the ordinance number if it passes. To approve item L, trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas-Esparza?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve item L, an ordinance amending Chapter 15.5 Personnel, Article 2, Employee Requirements and Benefits, Section 15.5 through 38. Vacations of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip will now be known as Ordinance 2023-03-3.
Thank you. So we'll go to the next item. Letter N is in Nancy. Approval of an agreement between Solstice Power Technologies and the Village of Alsip, where Solstice agrees to assist the village to drive community adoption of solar photovoltaic projects and/or community solar subscriptions based on availability. Again, before we take questions, was there a motion and a second to approve this the way it stands? No? Then we'll go back. Trustee Navas-Esparza, you pulled it. Do you have a question?
No, I just echoing what I shared and what other members have shared.
Pardon me?
Just echoing what others had shared. I have nothing else to add.
Okay.
What was discussed earlier.
Okay. Was there a motion and a second to approve this?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, roll call number 4 to approve item N as in Nancy. Trustee Dalzell?
No.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza?
No.
Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas-Esparza?
No.
Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Motion does not carry with a vote of 3-2.
All right. All right. Thank you. What do we have next? Anyone have any unfinished business? Any new business? And we need to adjourn to a closed session. I need a short closed session to discuss the setting of price for sale or lease of property owned by the public body pursuant to 5 ILCS 120, Chapter 2, C6. You get a motion, a second to do such?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call number 5 to adjourn to closed session. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas-Esparza?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn to closed session.
Thank you. We can stay in this room, ladies and gentlemen. I got to ask that we clear the room, that's all. So, but thank you for joining us tonight. The time now is 8:30 p.m., and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.